If you've been waking up every day feeling empty, like nothing excites you, like you don't have a purpose anymore, this video is for you. Because I've been there too. And I promise, this feeling doesn't mean your life is over. It means you are being reborn. Hi guys, my name is Jessica. Welcome to my channel. You know that feeling when you wake up and just like everything seems and feels meaningless? You don't feel sad, but you don't feel happy. You feel like numb. You're just there existing. You're not living, you're like existing. I remember what I used to do is when I used to wake up feeling like this, I would just get on the phone and just scroll for hours, just distracting yourself just to get through the day. You spend hours and hours watching over people's lives, what they're doing. You feel like watching everyone's success, and you start wondering, when did I lose myself? How long have I been feeling like this? Why am I feeling like this? What has happened to me? And you go through the motions. You get out of bed, you make your bed, you have your breakfast, you have your coffee, maybe go to work, maybe go to the gym. And on the outside, you seem fine, and even to people, they might think you're just fine, you're okay. But inside, you have that numbness, that empty feeling, like you're disappearing a bit more every day, like it's not you anymore. It's someone that is like on automatic mode. And you find yourself trying to fill the void. Maybe it's with food, maybe it's scrolling, staying busy. Some people, alcohol. In my case, it was food. I had a really big issue with food. That was the only thing that would help me like fill that void. And you tell yourself, oh, I'll feel better once I reach this goal, once I lose this amount of pounds, when I reach this weight, once I make more money, once I get that promotion, once I meet that right person, I'll feel better again. This is just a stage I'm going through. Once I get what I want, I'll feel much better. But no matter what to do, that feeling, that hollow feeling you have, it just doesn't go away. And you start thinking, why can't I be happy like everyone else seems to be? So if that is you right now, this video is for you, because I know exactly how it feels to lose yourself. To look in the mirror and you just don't even recognize who you are anymore. You've lost that spark you had, that everything, and it used to really affect me. It came to a point where I even couldn't see like videos of myself a few years ago, because that was a completely different Jessica, like a happy, a bubbly Jessica. And now I was just like, what am I? Like, I've completely lost all my spark. You feel like your purpose is gone, and you feel lost. You do have no idea how to get it back. But what if I told you that emptiness that you're feeling is not a curse? That is a sign. It's the beginning of your awakening. So it's something great, something that you need to go through. So now that you've recognized that emptiness, let's go a bit deeper. Let's talk about what is happening inside you right now. Let's talk about why you actually feel lost. Because once you understand where that emptiness is coming from, you'll finally start to see that this is not a breakdown, it's a breakthrough. You might feel lost because your old self, that old version of you, is no longer meant to lead your new life. Now let me repeat that again. We hold on to a version of ourselves, but maybe that version, we don't need her or him. For our new life, we need to create a new version of ourselves. Those goals, your habits, the mindset that you once had, they might not fit anymore. Your soul is craving evolution, but your mind, this is the problem, is resisting that change. That's why everything right now feels confusing. That's why you're feeling a bit lost, a bit empty. You're like, what is happening? Because there's a battle going on. And that's why you feel like nothing makes sense anymore. Keep reminding yourself that you're not broken, you're just transitioning. You're in the space of who you were and who you are becoming. And right now, when you are in that in-between space, it might feel like emptiness. But that emptiness isn't there to destroy you. It's not your enemy. It's there to purify you. It's clearing everything out that no longer fits for you, that's no longer aligned with the next chapter of your life. And I remember exactly when I felt like that. And for me, it took quite a bit of years until I transitioned. And I was in a point in my life where everything I had would make Jessica happy, my old version happy, but it just wasn't making me happy. and I couldn't understand. I was like, but I have this, I'm doing everything I want, I wanted. What is happening? The routines that I used to love started to feel heavy. The people that I used to surround myself just didn't feel like my friends anymore. I just felt like the problem was me, like I'm not fitting anywhere. And even like everything, the goals I was chasing, everything would just felt draining for me. And at first I thought like something was wrong with me, like I don't know, I just feel numb, I don't feel excitement. I wake up, I go to university, I go to work, I go home, bed, repeat. And I don't know, I just thought maybe I was going through something. Maybe I thought I was quite depressed as well. And so I decided, after a long chat, I decided to go to the doctors, because I was feeling quite bad for quite a lot of time. Like I noticed, like, look, I'm not getting any better, I'm even going worse. So I decided to go to the doctors, because I wanted to start maybe going on antidepressants, because I was just like, I felt so like nothing, so empty, nothing to look forward to, no goals, no motivation. And I was like, maybe it's something in my brain, and I need this for a while. So I spoke to her, I had a big breakdown with her, and she was looking at me and she was like, but I don't understand. Why are you depressed? And she was asking me about my life. She was like, you're studying the degree that you wanted to study. You have a boyfriend. You have a family. You have a nice relationship with them. You are young. You have all your life ahead. And she couldn't like wrap her head around why I was feeling like that. And she told me, she said, you're young. I'm not going to put you on antidepressants. I'm not doing that. So figure it out, basically, she told me. But now I understand, after a few years, now I understand what was happening. I wasn't falling apart. I was just outgrowing my old self. That was no longer the Jessica that I had to be. And the universe was trying to push me in a different direction, a new direction. But I kept holding on to what felt familiar to me, and that's the difficult part, letting go of what you know, of what feels familiar, what is warm. So that was the battle that I was having, and I didn't even know I was having it. And that's what causes so much pain. We are forcing our old identity into a new season of life, and we cling to what we've already outgrown, just because it's safe, it's familiar. But safety is not the same as alignment. And sometimes you have to let your old self die so that your higher self can be born. So if right now you feel like everything is falling apart, maybe it's because it's supposed to. Because your new self can't be born in the same environment your old self survived in. And maybe the things that are living your life right now are not losses, they're clearings. They're making space for that version of you that you were always meant to become. So now that you understand why you feel lost, let's talk about what this emptiness truly means. Because if you can learn to see this feeling differently, if you can stop fighting it and start listening to it, you realize it's not something to escape from. It's something sacred. The emptiness you're feeling is not a punishment. Tell yourself that over and over again. This isn't a punishment. It is a message. It's your soul whispering something in your life is no longer aligned. And when you stop running from that feeling and you finally sit with it instead of filling it with distractions, that's when everything begins to change. So let's go a bit deeper. Emptiness is that pause. So let's see what this emptiness is. Emptiness is that pause in the two chapters of your life story. But the problem is, most people try to run away from it, try to fill it with distractions, with this and that, instead of dealing with it. Because most people can't handle that silence. They feel uncomfortable in stillness. Because what does that silence do? It forces you to face yourself. So they run. They don't want that. They fill the void with distractions, relationship, food, alcohol, overworking yourself, and they will just do anything to just avoid sitting with themselves. And I was that person, and literally this was me. I just thought, if I just stay busy enough, I won't have to feel that ache inside me. And literally I overworked myself. I was like from 8 in the morning till 2-3 in the morning, just out. In the morning I was in the university, and in the afternoons I would work in the bar until 2-3 in the morning and repeat. I barely touched the house just to sleep. I even ate outside. I just didn't want to be alone. I always wanted to be doing something. And that's when the pandemic hit. Once it hit, I had to be at home, and I was like, so I had no other choice than to sit with myself. And now that I've moved past that, I see so many people that do this. And for example, maybe this happened to me as well. Maybe you've been in a long-term relationship, that relationship ended, and you feel like you've lost your identity. And that is because you built your world around that person. Or maybe you've spent years chasing success. And now that you feel like you're being successful, you still feel empty. Because deep down inside, it was never your true dream. Maybe you wake up every morning, go to a job you hate, scroll on social media for hours, and you just wonder during your lunch break, like, is this all there is to life? And this emptiness that you're feeling, these questions that you're asking yourself, is your soul saying, this is not who I am anymore? Like, we have to change. There has to be a change. And when you finally listen to it, when you stop numbing and stop noticing, you begin to see the truth. And that is the moment, like when the universe hands you a blank paper and tells you, now you get to start over. This is the moment. This time, write something real. Do something that you actually want, not what you thought you wanted. It's time for a change. So sit with your emptiness, listen to it, and tell your emptiness, I'm not going to escape from you anymore. I'm going to understand you. And ask yourself, what is this feeling that I have of emptiness? What is it trying to teach me? Because that feeling is guiding you towards alignment. That emptiness is there trying to speak to you. It's showing you what no longer serves your soul. It's showing you who you really are beneath the noise. Just remember, you're feeling empty because you've outgrown everything. So now that you understand what this emptiness really is, I want you to realize something important. You don't have to stay there in that emptiness. That emptiness isn't a place that you live in forever. It's a bridge you're meant to cross. You spent so long surviving, holding everything together, that you actually forgot what it feels like to be alive, to wake up and feel peace instead of pressure, to feel grounded instead of lost. But this next chapter of your life is about remembering who you are. It's about rebuilding from truth, not from fear. Not from what the world told you to be, but from what your soul has been trying to show you all this time. Because once you stop running from that emptiness, you create space for something far more powerful to take its place. You. So let's talk about how to do that. So how do you find yourself when you're feeling lost? You don't chase who you used to be. That was my number one mistake, because I used to do that all the time. I used to say, okay, I'll be that Jessica again. I'll meet with the same people. I'll do the same things that I used to do. I'll do this and I'll get my spark back. No, you don't do that. You don't go back. No, you create who you want to become. And you just have to keep in mind that you won't find yourself by looking outside. You have to look inside. You have to look within. Your old habits, your old identity, the roles you played for everyone else, they won't bring you back. The person you're meant to be is waiting on the other side of that discomfort. And that person can only be created if you take the time to sit with yourself and to really know yourself again. Get to know that new version of you again. So step one that you have to do is stop chasing and start listening. The first thing you need to do is stop trying to fill the void with distraction. Stop doing that. Stop going on your phone. Stop putting on videos or watching Netflix or going out or doing this. Stop. And also stop seeking answers in other people's approval, in social media, or in constant busyness. And instead ask yourself, what do I feel? What do I need? What is my soul asking for me right now? I remember a time when I was so busy, like trying to fix my life from the outside, like achieving goals, people pleasing, like checking boxes, doing everything, and everything was like from the outside looked like I was achieving all these things, but nothing felt right. And one day, suddenly, like after years, I sat alone, and I know I just listened, and I realized I wasn't supposed to do more. I was supposed to be more present with myself. Step 2, reconnect with the things that make your soul feel alive. This can be small things at first. It could be writing, drawing, moving your body, meditating. In my case, it was meditating. Walking in nature as well for me really helped. Or just simply sitting in silence. And notice how your soul responds to these things. Which one makes you feel more energized? Which one makes you feel like more whole again, more you, more alive. Step 3, let go of what no longer serves you. This is difficult, I know. It's the hardest part. Some people, relationship, habits, and beliefs are no longer meant to stay in your life, and clinging to them just will make you keep being stuck in your old version. You're not evolving like this. Just think about it. If a tree keeps holding on to its dead leaves, it will never grow new branches. So the same applies for you. Let go of what weighs you down, and you actually feel it. You know deep down of what you have to let go, what consumes you, what makes you what makes you feel completely drained without energy. It could be a habit, it could be a person, it could be a job. Just you deep inside, you know what it is, and create space for the new version of you to emerge. Step 4, rebuild your identity from the inside out. Now comes the powerful part. Building yourself intentionally, not based on who you were, and not based on who anyone else thinks you are, but based on your values, your desires, your soul. And ask yourself, what do I stand for? Who do I want to become? How do I want to feel every day? And write it down. Visualize it and speak it into your life. This is so important. You can start saying yourself, I am someone, I choose peace over chaos, for example. Just tell yourself those things. I am someone who trusts myself. These are things that I used to tell myself, and I still do. I am someone that creates joy every day. And slowly your life will start to align with that new version of yourself. And the last step is to be patient with yourself. This is a process, this is a journey, this won't happen overnight. So there will be days where you feel lost again, and that's okay. I still have those days. The most important thing is to just sit with yourself and listen to yourself. What is your body telling you? What is your soul telling you? You deep down, you know. So stop trying to avoid it and just sit with it and try to and work out the things that you need to work out, because all those moments that you have, those are all part of the transformation of your new self, of your new identity. And just remember, at the end of the day, you're not lost because you failed. You're lost because you're being rebuilt. So take time, sit with yourself, listen, journal, meditate, move, let go, and rebuild. Every small step you take brings you closer to that version of yourself you were always meant to be. And when you finally reconnect with that new version of yourself, you'll realize that that emptiness you felt was never the enemy. It was the doorway to your power. Now that you've taken the first steps to reconnect with yourself, listening, letting go, rebuilding, it's time to see the bigger picture. Because finding yourself isn't just about habits, mindset, or even emotional healing. It's about recognizing the spiritual guidance behind everything you've experienced. Every moment of pain, those sleepless nights you had, every time you felt lost or you felt empty. It wasn't random and it wasn't a punishment. It was your spirit, your soul, the universe, whatever you believe in, gently guiding you towards alignment. And when you see your journey through this lens, stop seeing emptiness as a curse and start seeing it as a divine invitation. So let's go a bit deeper. By now, you faced your emptiness. You started to listen and you started to let go. But beneath all of this, there's a deeper layer, and that is the spiritual layer. So think about it this way. Have you ever looked back on a difficult moment in your life and realized it changed everything for the better? Like at that moment, it seemed like the worst thing, but now you're like even grateful that it happened. Maybe it was that breakup that forced you to find your value and your worth. Maybe it was losing that job that pushed you to create your dream career. Maybe it was a season of loneliness that helped you reconnect with yourself, and you finally understand what truly matters. Like at the moment it was the worst thing that happened, and now you're even grateful that it happened because it took you where you needed to be. The universe works in mysterious ways. We all know that. And sometimes it removes people, places, and situations that you cling to. Not to hurt you, but to make space for what is meant for you. And that's the magic of the spiritual perspective. Feels like chaos in the moment. Often turns out to be divine orchestration. So here is what this means for you. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to know exactly where you're going. You just have to trust that you are exactly where you're meant to be in this moment. And every setback, every heartache, every period of emptiness, it's all guiding you towards the life that you're truly meant to live. and your job is not to control it. So listen to your lessons, follow your intuition, and embrace the growth that is waiting for you. Just remember, you're being emptied so you can be refilled, you're being broken so you can be rebuilt, and you are being challenged so you can rise stronger than ever. And one day you look back, and I promise that day will come, you'll look back and see that this season of darkness that you're going through right now was actually the beginning of your brightest light. So take this moment, breathe, sit with your emptiness, and trust the process. Let go of what no longer serves you, and know that you are becoming exactly who you are meant to be. So let's see what the spirits have to tell us this time. So I want you to think about this. I want you to think about that new version of yourself that you're creating, this emptiness that you're feeling. Put all that energy here. I'm getting this one. And it says, don't lose sight of this truth. You came here to evolve and grow. It is necessary to experience the difficult times. That is when you will grow most. There is always light at the end of the tunnel. Be proud of your journey. And true, just remember that there is always light at the end of the tunnel. You've got this. This isn't a punishment. I know it feels like I know it feels like the end of the world, but really, I am through. I am through. And you can go down my videos and you can see me have the biggest breakdowns. And I was for years like that. And here I am, I'm much better, I'm doing better. I still have a lot to learn, but I'm there. I trust the process. I'm done controlling it. I'll just let the universe do what it has to do. And so should you. Okay, guys, if this video spoke to your soul, subscribe and join me on this journey. Remember, I post every Wednesday and Sunday. And remember, this is your season of healing. This is your season of healing, growth, and rising into your highest self. Okay, guys, I will see you very, very soon. If you can follow me on my TikTok and my Instagram, I would really appreciate it. It helps me out, and you can get more content of this type. So there's nothing wrong so you won't lose anything by following me on my socials, and also subscribing to this channel because it really helps me out, and also like and share and comment. Thank you, guys. I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye.